What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, The Real Ish. Alright, so in this video I'm going to be talking about a few movies that I watched as a kid. Some are a little underrated, some are not that popular, some, so we'll get into that right now. Let's go. Alright, so the first one I want to talk about is The People Under the Stairs from 1991. It's a Wes Craven film. Back then I didn't realize it was considered horror comedy, This is a movie I used to watch a lot when I was younger. If you never heard of this movie, never seen it, I'm about to read the overview, okay? Alright, so when young Fool breaks into the home of his family's greedy and uncaring landlords, he discovers a disturbing scenario where incestuous and adult siblings have mutilated a number of boys and kept them imprisoned under the stairs in their large, creepy house. As Fool attempts to flee before the psychopaths can catch him, he meets their daughter Alice, who has been spared any extreme discipline by her deranged parents. Can Fool and Alice escape before it's too late? So that's the overview. As I stated, it's from 1991, Wes Craven film, and I have not seen this movie in so long, but like it says, he breaks into the house, he finds out like what they're doing, and starts communicating with that Alice, and like, I'm gonna put the pictures up, but the guy that was like in the movie, like under the stairs, he looks crazy already. I've seen him in a few other movies, but I mean, this movie exactly, like, he looks weird and wouldn't be anything I want to see. I don't think he could talk, if I'm not mistaken. Like I said, I haven't seen this movie in a long time, but yeah, I think something happened with his tongue, this guy I'm talking about right here. I kind of think this movie's a little underrated. I'm not really sure what they give it. They rate it a 6.4 out of 10 on IMDb. I think it was a pretty okay movie back then. And matter of fact, I need to go watch that one. Alright, so I'm not trying to make this video too long. I'm not going to be talking about each movie in very, descriptive details, just giving you the backstory on it. Another one that I used to watch back in the day a lot was Tales from the Hood. Now this one has like different stories, stories in one thing. And so here's like some of the stories are about. The creepy mortician Mr. Sims attempts to scare teenage drug dealer Stack and his friends straight by telling them 4 horrifying stories. Yeah, so that's what it is. It starts off like that, and the creepy guy's telling them all these stories. One is about a guilt-riddled cop who goes crazy after ignoring his corrupt partner. He also tells of a meek schoolboy with terrifying supernatural powers. Although the young thugs want to take their drugs and escape Mr. Sims, he still has 2 more tales to tell. So yeah, there are like 4 different stories. So like I already said what the first one was, the one with the cop. That story used to like really scare me. If you've seen Tales from the Hood, you know what I'm talking about. And then you have the one where this boy, another story, he's getting bruised. David Alan Grier, he plays like the boyfriend of this boy's mom or something. And he's getting abused or whatever, and they find out at school, and he's like this monster. That really tripped me out too. And he draws like monsters, but come to find out the boyfriend is the monster that's hurting him. And yeah, there are like 2 other, like, it's 4 stories in all, but like I said, I'm not gonna go through every detail, but Tales from the Hood used to like trip me out like back in the day. I still find it to be something good to watch now. They've made like a newer version of it, but I don't really rock with the newer versions of much of anything. Jumping into another one that I used to watch, I wouldn't really say like I was young. I was a lot younger. I was like probably in middle school when this came out. The movie Bones with Snoop Dogg. They gave it a 4 out of 10 on IMDb, but I mean, I'm just going off of what I think. I used to like watching this movie. I have the VHS actually, and I used to like watching it. I mean, that's just my opinion, It says Jimmy Bones is a legendary protector and patron of his thriving neighborhood, cool, handsome, and respected. Bones is a caretaker of his people until he's betrayed by those closest to him. Flash forward 20 years, crime and drugs have crumbled the neighborhood, and Jimmy Bones has become a charismatic emblem of better times, but his spirit is about to make a comeback. So yeah, he's like this like gangster dude, and he's betrayed and killed, I believe, and he comes back and haunts and kills those that did him wrong back in the day. I like it. I think it was a pretty good movie for what it was. in 2001, you know. I'm not saying it's the greatest movie ever, because it's not, but I don't think it's as bad as some people make it out to be, but this is my opinion. Alright, another one that I used to watch growing up, this one's from 1980, Mother's Day. I think I mentioned this on the channel before in another video, but Mother's Day, it says a camping trip turns into a living nightmare when 3 women encounter 2 deranged brothers and their equally demented mother in the woods of New Jersey. So yeah, so these 2 brothers do everything this mother says, and she's weird, and they capture these girls, and they trying to torture them, kill them, whatever they, you know, these people are like Looney Tunes. It's kind of make you think of, I'm trying to think of a movie that will make you, not saying it's the same thing, but like, you know how Wrong Turn, and they have their whole family and just weird, like, it just reminds you of something like that, where they're just creepy. They do everything this mom says, and which is not right, but they listen to her, and it's just really crazy. And you know, the graphics and the effects, special effects may not be as great, but I mean, we're talking about 1980, you know, so I think it was pretty good for what it was. Me and my family, we used to watch this movie and trip out. Like, we do laugh at some parts of it, but it's supposed to be a horror comedy. But growing up, that is one movie that I would always look at, and me and my parents would still to this day talk about this movie and laugh and say some stuff from it. So another one I used to watch back in the day, Flowers in the Attic from 1987. It's a horror mystery. It says there are secrets Chris and Kathy never knew about their parents. After their father dies, the teenage siblings along with their younger brother and sister are sent to live with their cruel grandmother, Olivia. Olivia is disgusted by the children. She knows their mother and father were actually cousins and locks them in the attic. The kids then try to keep their spirits high in spite of their bleak situation. Yeah, I have not seen Flowers in the Attic in a long time, but when I used to watch it, I used to be like, why does grandma hate these kids so much? And that's exactly what it is. The mother and father were cousins. It's just a lot of secrets, a lot of weirdness. This grandmother was like just really nasty to these kids, and it's been a very long time since I've seen this movie, like years, probably like 20 years or so. I can't really tell you every little thing about it, but I'm just letting you know what I used to watch back in the day. They give that movie a 5.8 on IMDb out of 10. I don't know. Alright, so last but least, movie, the independent film. Now this is one that I used to really watch more than any of these. This is like a movie I used to watch all the time growing up with my parents. Dead Dudes in the House from 1989. This movie came out when I was born, but I saw it obviously years later growing up. I don't know how my parents, you know, found out about this movie, but we had it on tape. We had it on VHS, and we had it on VHS, and I used to watch it. We used to watch it all the time. This movie has another name, The House on Tombstone Hill, so it's the same thing. But anyway, Dead Dudes in the House, also known as The Dead Come Home or House on Tombstone Hill, is a independent horror film in 1989. The film follows a group of teenagers who decide to renovate an old, seemingly abandoned house, unaware that the house is occupied by a murderous old woman and her daughter. So like this comes on, you see like they said, these people, this one guy, Mark, he buys this house, his girlfriend and all his friends gonna go help him fix up this house, and when they all get there, they find this grave for this, they found a gravestone that belonged to the woman named Abigail, and I don't know why, but one of the guys, Bob, I think, he smashes the gravestone to make more space for whatever they're doing, but as soon as they do that, I think like the lady, her body like rises up, I believe. Yeah, so that opens the door to like just straight hell for them. And the lady is in the house, real old lady. I mean, she looked like she could be 90 plus, and real creepy old lady with a cane. They see her and she's like, you know, just moving, but she's literally like killing these folks. It's just crazy. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, they kind of like, they're dead, but they're like, when they get killed, I don't want to say they come back, but they are dead. And then like one time, one of the girls gets stabbed in the back and she's still like coming at them. One of the guys have either a saw or something in his head and he's coming after them. So it's one of those ones where it's underrated. It probably doesn't get a lot of attention. It probably doesn't get it doesn't get what it deserves, but I really think it's a good movie from 1989. Like I said, it's old, so what do you expect? And they use what they had back then, so I like it. But anyway, I think if I'm not mistaken, I think everybody, I can't even remember if everybody dies. Yeah, it's like everybody dies except for one, I believe, but it says nearly everyone dies, but the ending is a little confusing. Yeah, so it says something about zombies and murders because, like I said, they still seem like they're alive after they die. They return as zombie-like figures, but the living survivors managed to kill them off. On Reddit 6 months ago, someone said they stumbled upon this movie on Tubi. The trailer and title totally different than the movie, but it was so great. Fantastic 80s gore, fun, campy actors, great little old lady villain. Yeah, some people like this. Somebody said they grew up watching this. Yeah, like me. I used to be sitting there right there on TV watching it. But yeah, like they said, it's gory. Like this dude, his body gets like crushed in the window, I believe. I've not seen this movie in so long, and I found out they had it on Peacock, and I was going to watch it on Peacock, but they took it away. Somebody said it was on Tubi. I'm gonna see if I can find it. It's hard to find old movies that you used to watch. You know, it's really hard. Like you don't have any movie places anymore to get movies. Like you have to do everything online, and especially old movies like that are like really independent. Obviously, I don't have a VHS anymore. I don't know what my parents did with the tape, so if I still had it, I would try to watch it some kind of way. But I'm gonna try to find that one. But yeah, so those are all the movies that I used to look at and love to watch when I was younger. So that's it. Just let me know what you guys think about this one. I thought I would just share that for this video. And yeah, so let me know, have you seen any of these movies? If not, I suggest you watch all of them. I suggest you watch all, especially Dead Dudes in the House. That was a pretty good classic in my opinion. But yes, please comment your positive thoughts. Negative comments, negative anything will be blocked. And subscribe to the channel if you're new. Thanks for watching, and God bless.